People forget in 2016 there was a great deal of discussion about getting electors to change, about getting electors to vote against Trump, Republican electors. Even thoughts about a second list of electors. It came from a Harvard law professor, among others. There was debate publicly about it. And again, in the context of Chuck Todd or these Sunday shows, they never mention it. Now, you may not like it. You might think it's unethical. You might think this or that. It's certainly not criminal. There was a case brought all the way to the Supreme Court by the Republicans that insisted that electors had to be faithful. That is, if they were elected to be in the as a Republican elector to vote for a certain candidate, then that's what they needed to do. That was challenged, went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Republicans won. So that's the way it's supposed to work. But there was a lot of discussion about this in 2016. Let's just take a look at a little bit of it. Go.
The election is over, but there are a lot of people upset with the results and looking for alternatives, and some Hillary supporters still hold out hope that there may be a last-ditch means of getting the Democratic nominee into the White House. A Change.org petition is being passed around on social media calling on members of the Electoral College to change their vote from Trump to Hillary. So is it possible that after the vote is over, Hillary Clinton could land in the White House? Not really. So let's rip this Band-Aid off quick. While some electors are bound by law on how to vote for their state, some are simply bound by oath and could conceivably change their mind and vote against the will of their state's voters. However, even in the event that enough electors decide to betray their duty and vote against Donald Trump, and even if it's enough to pull Trump's votes below 270, the magic number needed for the presidency, Hillary Clinton would not get those votes. Why? Well, you see, electors aren't just a group of randos off the street. Typically, when a party wins a state, members of the winning party are the ones that vote in the Electoral College. That means the electors that people are asking to change their vote are mostly Republicans. And even if for some reason they decide they morally cannot vote for Donald Trump, they would not vote for Hillary. In the rare cases where electors choose to cast protest votes, they don't vote for the opponent, they usually vote for their party's running mate, in this case, Mike Pence. So a best case scenario for Hillary supporters is that the Electoral College rebels and enough votes go to Pence that the House of Representatives would have to decide between Trump, Pence, and Clinton. Now, if you're saying, well, maybe the House will decide to vote Hillary in, I've got more bad news for you. The House would most likely vote for Trump because the House is overwhelmingly Republican. And it's not a great political move for Republican representatives to anger their voting base by voting for a Democrat. And even if they don't choose Trump, they'd most likely choose Mike Pence. So this push for an electoral rebellion doesn't land Clinton in the White House. At best, it lands Mike Pence in the White House. So for those holding out hope that this was the way that Clinton would get in, sorry.
But they did hold out hope, which is why the case had to go all the way to the Supreme Court. But what apparently, if I'm reading this correctly, some of the Trump people were thinking was, in those states where they believed there was corruption at the ballot box, or even in those states where they believed the Constitution was violated, like Pennsylvania, which it clearly was, by the way, the state legislature can send a list of the electors. These are Republican legislatures. And so you have conflicting list of electors sent to the Congress, the archivist who then delivers them to the Congress on January 6th. So apparently, and I say apparently because I don't know firsthand, apparently that was some of the thinking. Would that be unconstitutional? No. Would it be wise? Probably not. But is it unconstitutional? No. It's not unconstitutional. Particularly where the state legislature's authority granted by the federal Constitution under Article 2 is subsumed, devoured, eviscerated by a Democrat governor, a Democrat court, or a Democrat Secretary of State, among others, which is exactly what happened in Pennsylvania.
For more, sign up for LevinTV.